brother taught me. He was my former Division A governor and the one who solicited me as the Division A governor. And his motto was teamwork makes the dream work. George, would you come up here and make me remark?
Stand down here as well. I see what time it is. In the next several minutes, I'm going to ask you to do something very difficult. Now, I say it's difficult because we've all seen a few ages pass by us. So they say the older you get, the harder it is to use your imagination. But all imagination is an image to oneself. So I want to give you an image, and you build it in your mind any way you want to, any way you choose fit to. Just imagine, if you would, a lonely, cold, desolate place. Now imagine walking out of this cold, lonely, desolate place to see everything cracked around you, including the pavement. Now imagine yourself walking along that cracked pavement. And allow that cracked pavement to be anything you want. Now imagine out of the crack of that very same sidewalk, a beautiful rose in the most unlikely of places. That's how I felt when I walked into prison for the first time. In the very likely of the places, I found inspiration. I found motivation. A little bit of perspiration. But I love going in. I love going in. Because in my mind, I already had a picture set up. My imagination was already working as I began to walk into that cold, desolate, lonely place. I've already had an image in my mind. My mind was already made up about what I was going to receive when I walked into this place. That I'll give these prisoners some of my knowledge and they'll be better off for it. Boy, was I wrong. You see, what I found when I walked into prison was not a cold, lonely, desolate place, but a place of potential. So much potential. So much potential. And it reminds me of a story of a young gentleman who had a bamboo pole. And at either end of that pole were two pots, a pot on each side. Now one pot was a beautiful, lovely pot. The other, not so much. Because see, it had a crack in it. And see, for 2 years, this young gentleman would go to the pond a couple hours away and walk back to bring his family drinking water. And for 2 years, that cracked pot only came back half full, while the beautiful pot was full, completely full. See, one day when that man went to the pond, that pot began to speak to him. He began to say how he was so disappointed that he had let this gentleman down, that for 2 years, as he brought water back to his family, that he was only able to be half full. That gentleman reminded that pot of something. He said, for 2 years, I've been walking 2 hours back and forth to that pond. And as we walk back, you drip. But have you noticed that side that you dripped on has now flowers, beautiful flowers to enjoy. That's what came out of that cracked pot. See, sometimes we all find ourselves like that cracked pot, disappointed, letting the world know I let you down. And we get down on ourselves. But see, like that cracked pot, We all have the potential to water the seeds for those 2 hours as we walk and allow ourselves to pour, not just pour, but pour into others, to allow those seeds to grow. That's what I was able to find when I walked into those prisons. That's what I was able to find when I walked into those prisons. When I seen those men, highly motivated, truly dedicated, working at a craft that may or may not accept them down the road. But knowing that by achieving personal satisfaction, see, it's a supportive environment that Toastmaster creates. That anybody, even a prisoner, can take and build their credentials. Like we heard earlier, we all have pasts. We all have pasts. A lot of times we want to run from our past, but it's our past that makes us strong. It's our past that makes us who we are. It's our past that can go forward and prevent someone from going through the same heartache, the same pain, the same struggles that we all had to go through. See, we are where we are today. We're all where we are today so that we can learn about ourselves, learn about others. You know, you look at on TV these days, you see a war going on. And a lot of times it's easy to shut that TV off and say, I'm not going to listen to this about this war. But see, war is not just a me problem. It's not just a you problem. It's an our problem. Poverty is not just a me problem. It's not just a you problem, but an our problem. Rehabilitation. It's not just a me problem. It's not just an us problem. Or not just a you problem. But it's our problem. And until we deal with our problems and stop shuffling the blame. Mr. Horace talked about Black Lives Matter. Let's stop shuffling the blame. Whose life matters the most? We all matter. And we're all here today so that we can learn from each other, our differences. Because God, we're all God's children in the end. We're all under the same umbrella. To love, cherish, and obey. Almost like a marriage, right? Each other. Love each other. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for that reason only. To discover who we are so we can pour into others and hopefully they'll be able to discover